Hey guys, thanks for downloading our podcast. Very happy and proud that our podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp, it's H-E-L-P, BetterHelp. And if you haven't heard of BetterHelp, let us tell you a little bit about them. They are a completely online assistance, not a crisis line. It's not a self-help. It's professional counseling that's done not only online, but very securely online, where you can log into your account anytime. You can get hooked up with a counselor across the country, no matter what state you're in. They are licensed in every state, and they're available 24/7.
After this last year, everything that we've gone through, maybe there's something that you just can't shake, something that's interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals. That's what BetterHelp is for. You don't have to leave your house and go to an office and speak to someone in person. You can do it completely online, and that is huge after the last 18 months.
Oh, no kidding. And on top of that, that makes it more affordable than traditional offline counseling. Plus, they have financial aid that is available. So when you go to their website, it's BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, BetterHelp.com/PatJT. Do that because you're going to get 10% off your first month. I know the spring sprung and everybody's starting to feel a little bit better, but don't be ashamed if you're not 100%. Don't be ashamed if you still feel like you're still overwhelmed. There's somebody there waiting to help you.
Either click the link in the description, go to BetterHelp, HELP.com/PatJT, or at checkout, use the promo code PatJT to get that 10% off your first month.
Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
All right.
So our job, I don't work in the dirt. I don't like build things. I'm not a landscaper. I have none of those skills.
Glad you cleared that up.
I have a problem, a huge problem.
Uh-oh.
And I don't understand how people don't have this problem, but you see people all over the place that don't have this problem. And I have this problem. Yesterday, was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago when Rihanna was in.
Yeah.
And she had mentioned that I looked happy. Like my outfit, I had my yellow shorts on. I had my new shoes on.
Had your Granimals on.
I did. I had my Granimal outfit that I picked out myself. Thank you very much. But here's my problem is that my new shoes, I absolutely love my athleisure shoes.
I know you do.
And I love darker colored shoes because it hides any sort of smudges or dirt that I might get on them.
Look at my shoes.
Then I'm asking the wrong person. Because I don't know how, I've got these white shoes on and I love them, but I don't know how to not get them dirty.
I know.
I don't do shit.
You must drag your toes.
I must. Or I put my shoes on top of each other.
I do this, and I put my feet back, and so I have my toes.
So that's probably part of
it.
it.
I put my toes on, and then when you're driving, you have your heel sitting, but your heels are gray.
My heels are gray.
Fine.
It's the tip,
but it looks like somebody walked across your shoes, right? That's what mine looks like.
And nobody did. No one walked across my shoes. And it's just
they're white
frustrating.
Fabric.
Yeah,
and leather.
it's good. It's that it's kind of like that plasticky sort of. So it's not like, I think it's almost like vinyl. So I'll be able to, I think, get some like OxyClean on a toothbrush and brush it. But I just don't understand. My daughter has the most pristine, beautiful white shoes. She is a 16-year-old girl that's going 1,000 miles an hour all over the place all the time, and her shoes are perfect.
Does she clean them? That you know of. That you know of.
That's the only thing she cleans if she cleans them.
I was going to say, because I do know that there is a whole thing about, as far as the kicks that you wear, right? And taking really good care of them and not bending them. Do you remember that whole deal? Right? Yeah. Like the way the kids would walk, so they didn't have a crease in the toe. Yeah. So you walk kind of like Frankenstein to keep them all looking like they're brand new. Yep. And cleaning them and making sure they're
so maybe she does. I
don't know, but
I don't think so. I would say I default to no on that.
Yeah, I don't walk like that. I wear shoes to wear them, but I'm really mad because I got these and I was like, I like these. These are cute. They're Toms, and they're white, and then they've got the little yellow, and it's like, really super comfortable.
They look nice for the first week, and then they get dirty.
That smudge on the one toe that you can see, the really bad smudge, that happened like day 2.
Yeah, and it's always right. you can never just soft roll into it. It's always like you get a shirt, one bite of a Costco hot dog, and ketchup all over your shirt.
Another reason not to have the Costco.
Oh gosh,
that's all right. But yeah, I think though I already did Google about the best way to clean my white non-leather shoes. And there are like 3 or 4 things in there that are home remedies that you can probably do. And do it early before they get dirtier. That's on my list these.
I think that right there, that little dark one, soy sauce. I honestly think so. I was trying to figure out what that was, but I got Hy-Vee sushi yesterday, and I think I had a little runaway squirt of soy sauce or something. I don't know. But I have no idea.
That is awesome.
I don't
Damn
know.
it. No, I know what you mean because you're right. You're talking to the wrong person.
I know.
I can't fix that.
I
can't. I don't know. I don't even know what to do.
And my other shoes, I have gray.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before where if I find something, and a lot of people do, you find something you like, you get two of them. So when one wears out, my Brooks, I'd never had Brooks shoes before. Got a pair of blue and gray Ghost shoes. I mean, they were amazing. So as soon as they started wearing out, I bought another pair to have in the closet. So now I have two of the exact same pair of shoes. Awesome. One's now my lawn shoes. They graduated down to being on my lawn shoes. Then I have my workout shoes. Now I just got another pair of Brooks. So now I have, but the problem is that I don't know what my lawn shoes are and my other shoes are now.
Oh my God.
Because they're the same.
You need to mark them.
Well, that's a great idea.
Like put your name inside like a little kid. For camp. Lawn shoes.
Lawn shoes. Just put a big L on the back. Loser.
LW. Yeah, I was going to say lawn, workout. I don't know, whatever. New, I don't know. But yeah, I get it. I totally get it because I'm right there with you and it just pisses me off because I can't have nice things.
Yeah.
So why try? Speaking of which, nice things. I'm finally getting around to finishing some things that I started like 3 years ago in my house, and then COVID came, and then it's like everything came to a screeching halt.
Right.
And replaced some exterior lights yesterday. That happened at my house.
Exterior lights.
They've been there since the house was built. And so
like cans or like ones that
the ones that are like the sconces that are on the front door, and then the little wings that I have on each side of my house.
Okay,
there's a light on top of each one of those posts, little post lights that are down there, and they're definitely from the 70s. The ones that were on there, and they were worked, but the glass was getting ugly, and you couldn't clean them, and they're metal like wrought iron.
It's been there for 40 years, 50 years.
Yep. And so got the new ones put up, but all of them except for one because there is a robin nesting on it. And so I told the electrician, I'm like, you'll have to come back.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
You can't do that one now.
I'm sure he thought, are you kidding me?
I know.
But he gets to charge you an extra
right?
trip.
And he does. And I said, I can't tear her house down. She's got, I think she has babies now in there.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I have
that'd be like inhuman.
Oh,
to do
wouldn't
that.
it?
Yeah, it'd be awful.
And he could get away that day to do the rest of them. And I was like, well, you can do all of them, but not that one. You can't do that one. And so I have a security camera that's right above her nest. Mm-hmm. So I had to turn it off because it was going off non-stop because she's flying out, flying back, flying out, flying back.
So the camera, can you see inside the nest?
I can't see inside, but I can see when she's sitting on the edge of the nest, and you can hear, and I think I can hear baby birds.
Okay.
In there.
That's about right.
Yeah, it should be. And she's been there about 2 weeks, and the internet said they usually nest for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then they'll get the babies to the point where they can fly, and away they go. So I'll be able to take it down another week or so.
Yeah.
But jeepers
I know, but you can't guilty conscious. Can you imagine? You couldn't sleep at night. No. You killed some babies.
No, not a chance. So we'll just have to own it, pay for it.
It's worth it. Right? Another $100 or whatever to get them come out there.
If I'd seen her start building at the very beginning and I could have discouraged her so she went somewhere else, that would be different. But
we have a black squirrel named Bo in the backyard that is building a nest in our trees. And we feed him corn every day, put a new ear of corn out there. He eats an entire ear every day. He's going to be just obese squirrel.
Yeah, that's all
but
right.
Over the weekend, we saw him we know he's building a nest because we saw him gathering his equipment, his gear or whatever. And he actually, our neighbors, Jean Jacket and his wife, he got into one of their cushions, like chewed through the corner, and he's getting like high-end legit cushion. And we saw him. We saw him on their porch.
Is it like foamy stuff?
Yes, like the foamy stuff.
Okay.
So he's gonna have a lit crib.
Yeah.
So we saw him in like digging around on their porch, and he jumped up with a whole mouthful. He could barely, he had to have his head sideways because he couldn't see past the wad.
Couldn't see over the front.
So he's running sideways, and he get up on the fence, jump down, and bound through our yard and up into the tree. And he made that trip like 4 or 5 times that morning. That's hilarious.
Awesome. It's so funny because you never really because they're so good at kind of like hiding them, camouflage. So when you look up there, you don't really see where the nests are, but they're up in there. And when the trees in the wintertime, that's when you get a chance and you can see where the squirrel nests are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and unsalted peanuts. Grab the shelled peanuts like circus peanuts.
They like that?
Oh, get the unsalted ones.
Okay.
And yeah, they love those.
I had no idea.
Those. I have a feeder that has corn, and then I have one that I put a bunch of corn cobs on. It looks, okay, this is so hokey, but it looks like it's a little metal corn stalk. So it's got like 5 or 6 prongs on it.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I put one ear of corn on each one of them, and each one has a leaf underneath it so they can stand on the leaf. while they're eating
Oh my
the corn.
gosh, that is awesome.
And it's so fun to watch. And then the other one is a feeder that's like a big jar of stuff, and I fill it with corn, loose corn kernels, and the peanuts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the unsalted peanuts. They love those circus peanuts.
We went to my parents' house and got like 3 5-gallon buckets full of ears of corn last fall and saved them for the spring when the squirrels were around. So we'll try the. I'll post a picture of our little thing. We had Beth's dad made a picnic table that we screwed under
the picnic table.
He built it, and he hates squirrels because he hates squirrels. He had to pay like $400-$500 when we were out there last summer, 2 summers ago, because a squirrel got into their oven vent. You could hear him digging and trying to get out, and he couldn't get him out. He couldn't take it, so he had to call someone to take apart the whole thing and get him out. So he's not a fan of squirrels at all.
Entirely his fault, though. Need to have that covered up.
Oh, it is now.
It
is definitely covered now. Yeah. So we call it Mr. Paul's Cafe, and the squirrels up. Well, I'll post a picture of Mr. Paul's Cafe. Post a picture of your crazy lady, whatever you call it.
When I moved into this house, the people that lived there before were feeding the squirrels on the back deck. So they used to brazenly come all the way up to the door, and then they would sit on the railing and they'd look in the window in the kitchen and just like look in there like, yo, where's my crackers? You know, because she used to put crackers outside for them. And so I put the feeders on the other end of the yard.
That's a good idea.
So they're over there.
It would have driven your animals crazy.
Oh my God. My cats were going nuts. It was like, you see this?
Yeah.
He just flipped me off. Right. It's like, he knows I can't get him. So I moved them all down there. So they've got one little house where they have to lift the lid to get inside to get the stuff out.
They actually have to lift it?
And they do.
Are you serious?
It's hilarious. It's got a little hinged lid on the roof.
So do raccoons get in there too, maybe?
Mm-mm. I've never seen one out there.
At least I should say.
So they lift the lid to get in the one, and then the other one's a little house that they go in, and it's got a jar that they can pull stuff inside and eat, and then it's got the corn stalk thing. So it's like a playground for squirrels. And Jack goes crazy.
I'm sure he does.
Goes out the door, and the first thing he does is he looks over at all that to see if there's any activity, and then he's like a bullet. Yeah.
I got to tell Beth about that. She'll want to get the little lifty lid thingy.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's too much fun. So that's a blast. So got work going on around the house. So there's some activity. And of course, I have the feral cats and then the barn kitty, right? And so the feral cats, I can touch one, the other one, not so much. And the guys are going to be working on getting rid of another room with popcorn ceiling today.
Ooh.
Super excited.
You are flipping it.
Flipping it. It's taken me a decade, but I'm flipping. Is that flipping it still? It's kind of a slow roast.
I mean, it's turning it over. It's not flipping. Flipping implies faster.
Expediency.
Yeah.
So they're doing that. So I had to put all the cats down, those 3, I had to put them downstairs this morning before I left. And remember, one of them hates to be picked up, and I can't hardly touch the other one.
How'd you do that?
I put their soft food out, like I do. That's my trick. And they come over, and the one lets me pet him while he's eating. And so I pet him, and I just picked him up. And he's heavy. He's a big boy. And he just like froze. It was like that.
The fainting goat,
right?
Just freaked out.
It was like that fight. You have the fight or flight, and then you have the people who just lock up. Like, I don't know what to do. That was him. He didn't struggle. He wasn't happy. I know that, but he was just like waiting for something to happen. I took him downstairs and I set him down, and he turned and looked over his shoulder at me like, talk about side eye. It's like, what did you? And so I got all of them downstairs, no problem. But all of them were shocked. They were like, you picked
I bet they're just talking crap right now
I know,
about
but I
you.
took their food down. They had their soft food downstairs. They've got their bed.
They're still going to be pissed.
Everything's down. I know they will be. I'll never get near them again. Probably.
Cats are so smart. Dogs, whatever. But cats are, when Beth has to take the cats to vet the night before, she just puts their kennels in the shower with the curtain shut. Because otherwise, if they hear her in the garage getting the kennels, they're gone. You don't see them for the rest of the day.
I know what you're
I don't
doing.
even know where they hide. But so she's got to be so sneaky that she puts it in there the night before. So the next morning when she's cuddling, grab them and throw them in the kennel.
Throw them in the kennel. I have a soft side kennel. This and it wasn't intended for that. This is the little carrier that I had that I brought Jack back on the airplane, and it fits underneath the seat in front of me. Well, it unzips on the top. Getting a cat in a kennel, they are all 4 legs.
Oh, for sure.
Are all the door, and you're just like, and they won't give up. They don't want to go in, and getting them out is sometimes just as difficult. You have to tip it upside down, and they still stick on the inside.
Yeah, it's like, how do you guys do that?
It's insane. So I took this one, I unzipped the top, and it's a soft side. So I unzipped the top, and I just set it. And actually, the first time I did it, Benny jumped in because
Really?
cats love to get in the box.
Yeah, oh, yeah, right.
Right? So I opened up the entire top. He jumped in, and so I sprinkled some catnip inside. He drops his head down to sniff. Zip. Zipped him up.
He's stoned out of his mind and realized
Took him to the vet.
the ceiling just got zipped up on me. The heck does that happen?
But there was no fight. I'm like, why didn't I think of this before?
Yeah, it's a great idea.
The hard side kennel with the little door.
They don't want to do that. No, they want to get
like
up in.
putting toothpaste back in the tube.
It's
I mean,
impossible.
you can't kill them if they don't want to go in. They aren't going in. So that's just a little hack I just discovered like in the last month.
Yeah,
is the soft side carrier with the zipper top.
And they're easier to store because you can squish them down.
Exactly right. Exactly. So that's what's going on at the house today.
Well, there's your pet tips right there. Your pet tips, your feral animal tips, your feeding tips,
And your white shoe tips.
and your white shoe tips. My dirty shoes with soy sauce on them. Gosh dang it. Anyway, thanks for listening to our podcast.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.